Hi, everybody. I hope that everybody's doing great and welcome to the live stream. Um, I really enjoy doing these sessions with you guys live because we are living in precarious times. And I know that the videos tend to be really brief. And I was hoping that hosting these sessions once a week would be useful. If you have any immediate questions that you want me to answer, please go ahead and type those questions in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer those. But thank you for joining the live session today. And so, a lot of the questions I often get, in my consultation sessions, I feel are so great to talk about. Just to educate the masses on how to approach specific situations. And so today, one question that I seem to often get is about return on investment. I mentioned that in my videos. And so a few people were kind of asking, what does that mean? And, you know, what does it mean when you say return on investment and vice versa? And so I'm hoping that in this session, I can answer that for you as well. So, and I'm going to get this wipe here for my glasses, and I'm going to take this off for a second as we chat together. And so, so what does it mean? How can you make sure as you are pursuing your major to career that you are also trying to really have a return on investment, right? I think that's a really important question. So, these are my suggestions. Many of you who are watching are high school students, young people thinking about pursuing an education for a better life. Or you could be a professional who is thinking about expanding your knowledge base and getting another opportunity in the job market. So you're thinking about brushing up your skills, gaining certification, gaining an advanced degree, getting a second degree, getting a master's, getting a PhD. Overall, regardless of the scenario, you are just really trying to just do the best with what you can, pursue your studies and be able to take care of your family. That's really what I get every time I do sessions and I talk to clients. You know, that's what many of you often say. I am doing this. I am choosing to go to school. I'm choosing to go back so that I can make a better future for myself, so I can make more money, so I can get that promotion, which leads to more money. All goes back to improving yourself, your circumstance, and your family situation. So the key question now is, how do you do it? How do you do it in such a way that it becomes lucrative for you, right? So I always recommend, especially now with the advent of online technology, is just as you are submitting that application, how you do research on the school, research on the application. Maybe you're working on the common application with your parents or yourself. I also recommend going to every school and looking at their career development support. Usually, that's going to have some information. It's going to have names of people that you can meet with, their focus areas, how they can help you get to where you need to be. So that's the first thing I want you to do. If that information isn't on there for some reason, that's okay. I want you to reach out to the school and ask for that information, whether it's a pamphlet, a brochure, a contact of a person who is also dealing with the advancement stage after you're finished career-wise. The other thing that you can also look at as a part of your research for return on investment is to ensure that the school you are looking into, the institution, the entity, the organization, that they have maybe a previous list, an archive list of their career fairs. Career fairs are really opportunities for employers within that immediate community and even sometimes beyond to come to the school and recruit you, the young person, or you, the professional who's going back to school, for opportunities within their organizations. And some schools will actually have a list, like a PDF, that you can review to see these employers. And that's really helpful. And I want you to go ahead and download that. And that's what I really do with my clients. That's the research. Who's coming? If there is archive listings of the previous fairs for the last few years, I recommend going at least 2 to 3 years back. I'm a huge fan of like 5 years back if you can get that information. But if the most you're getting is who came at the last fair, then that's good enough. The other thing you also want to do is you want to get information for any of these fairs that were for your specific area of interest. So, for lack of a better word, if you're thinking about majoring in dance, and I'm just using the example I used last week, then you would look to see who came to recruit for the liberal arts or the performing arts, right? If they have specific career opportunities for those specific student populations, and some schools have that. Once you do that, in addition to the admission information, you develop maybe an Excel worksheet and you put in, go school by school and take your time to do this. So you know how you're applying to maybe 5 to 6 to 7 schools. Then what you want to do is you want to compile this information and write it down, because this is going to be for your reference. And once you have identified each school, you have what you need to get admitted into it. You've checked who the folks are that are going to be working with you as you are working on graduation for your career, right? You have checked the fair, maybe it's archived on their website, or you have contacted them for it, and you have seen the list of employers, right? And then if they have a specific one, because sometimes they have something like that is for all majors, sometimes they will have both, like a mix, one for all and then one for specific areas. You also want to have that list as well. And that's really what you need to get started. Your application prioritization at that point to the schools will be based on the return on investment, or the ROI, as we like to call it. And that's what you're going to use to determine which are the places that you're going to go. I am a huge fan of making choices that way and kind of going full circle that way. I feel that works a lot better in terms of getting you started for your success. And you'll have that prioritization list. You'll submit your applications, and you should be good to go. Now, to get return on your investment, which is another question I get, what can you do in the first year, second year, third year, 4th-year to be able to ensure that? So I recommend, usually in a traditional school environment, they will have a semester or a period of learning for most institutions that is like from August to December, January through May, with the summer off, which is May through August. Most schools will have that type of an arrangement. Now, if the school you're going to runs through quarters, which is a slightly different organization, that's okay too. The key is familiarize yourself with how your school is run so that you can see the interception points that you could use to maximize your return on investment from that education. And a lot of people don't do that. You'd be amazed at how many people just focus on getting in as opposed to holistically thinking about being more proactive and being more, um, more aware about the choices you make. Where you go to school matters, and where you end up matters too, because that's the return on investment we're talking about. So, assuming that you've done that research and your school is running from August until December, as your first semester or program of study, and the second program of study or semester is January through May, then that means that you have that full year and then you have that summer. That summer and every summer after that is going to be very, very important for your return on investment. I recommend the first summer to be a summer where you are exploring. You might not know exactly what you want to do. I mean, you've just come in from high school. You don't know. Unless you're a master's or PhD student at that point, you just probably are in your first year of college. You're trying to get your feet wet. You're trying to kind of get a sense of what's going on. No pressure for that first summer. The second summer is when I recommend that you start to really pay attention to something. And this is where the experiential education comes in, related to what it is that you want to do. And you guys have seen my videos. In every video, what I talk about on my channel is I give you a very quick synopsis or overview of what you're learning from that path. And then I give you a sample of the type of opportunities you will be getting from employers, so you can familiarize yourself with the language, the type of employers to target, so you can get an understanding of market trends, who's hiring with this major. And then in my videos, I also give you suggestions on how to navigate your degree while you're in school, the things that you need to do. Example: joining student organizations, volunteering, and being a part of growth opportunities within the organizations. If there's a fundraising opportunity, if there's a marketing opportunity, if there's event planning, interacting with others, if it's just attending those meetings every month. And it could also be the content, the subject matter you take, the minors you add. You have this major, you want to add this minor to show that you have this focus, for example. So making great academic choices is also really important. But for the summers, you then want to start to act. And that second summer, you want to see if you can test something, whatever that something is. And your school's career office, that office that I asked you to look into right from the beginning, they will be able to have information on who is looking for interns for that experiential education. And experiential education is just an opportunity for you to gain experience and have something to write on your resume. And summer is a good time because you're home, you're not really taking classes, and it's a good time to get your feet wet. And usually the first summer you try something and it may not be your cup of tea. Or you might try something and absolutely love it and know that you are on the right track for it. And so regardless, it doesn't matter. Try and make it useful. Okay. So after you do that, then you come back, and typically in your third year at that institution, you are now really on your way towards graduation. You have one more year left, you're a junior. That is the most important summer. And I cannot emphasize enough the summer after your junior year, because that's when a lot of employers across the country extend the initial offers. That's how early it starts. So if there's any employer coming to recruit you for the summer opportunity, that is when I want you to take it seriously. That's probably where you're going to end up. And the way that it works is you go work for that particular employer. In August, when you get back, they'll call you in a room, sit down with you, give you your final feedback on how you've done. Now, remember, the feedback might be routine because you're a student doing an internship there. And then they should extend the full-time offer to you. And if they don't, you should ask for it. They will then usually extend you that full-time offer of employment, and then they will give you that official letter. It comes later, but you do have the offer and you have some time to think about it. And usually you get the month of September to think about it. And by the end of September, then you sign up the paperwork. They send you the official paperwork and you sign it and send it to HR. So ideally, when you start your senior year, you already, or that last year, you already have a job in your hand. Let that sink in. That's how early. Now, this is why many of my clients come to me, and I believe them. When clients are saying there's no opportunities after graduation, yeah, because they're all gone. They're all gone across the country with employers recruiting directly at the schools. Now, there may be a few of them, but it's a lot harder to get it after you graduate. It's a lot harder because what are they going to do? They're going to say no to those people that they have already extended offers to. Let that sink in. If that particular company has already hired their entry level people and you missed that boat, in order for you to get something, something probably has to happen to the original people that they already hired. So this is why I really strongly have always emphasized for return on investment to be a priority when you are looking at opportunities. Think working backwards. Excuse me. Think working backwards. It's really going to be super helpful as well. Yes, so I think trying to cover some of the major questions I got this week from the clients that I've been working with. Now, if you want to work with me, you want to discuss your case, you just want an initial take on strategies, which is a lot of you, that's really why you reach out, because you've been trying this for a long time and you just want a fresh perspective. All I would need is an overview of your experiences, and the resume is perfectly fine. We meet and we talk about some of the things that you're doing, and then I offer suggestions during the consultation session. And so I do consultation sessions as well. Just let me know. Just reach out to majortocareer@gmail.com. That is majortocareer@gmail.com. And I'm always more than happy to help you in any way that I can. But if you reach out to that office that I mentioned to you, that career office is going to be there at every institution. They have one. They have advisors there. They have data. They can give you a realistic sense of where other people who are pursuing your degree have gone. Sometimes, actually, in a lot of cases, they may actually be able to give you a semblance of how much money they're making. And one of the other great things too, if you wanted to just do the research on your own for return on investment, I love that we have LinkedIn now, because you can actually find alum who are from your school using LinkedIn. So you can type up the school you want to go to, the major, and then LinkedIn can filter. And a lot of professionals are now on LinkedIn, which makes it such a handy resource to use. Yeah, so hopefully that was useful. I think those were mostly, I would say, a bulk of the questions. A lot of people who watched last week emailed me and said, "Hey, Coach K, could you talk about return on investment and how that all works. Um, and I would say the same for you if you have experience. If you have experience, nothing changes. You want to contact the career office for the institution you want to go to. You want to talk to somebody about, you want to know how your money is going to be used. Is it worth it while you're pursuing this advanced degree option, this certificate, this program? Then you want to work backwards. You want to find out what other people's experiences are. How have they benefited? And there's a lot of like networking that happens in these scenarios that people sometimes don't pay attention to. So if you're a seasoned professional, you do also need to ask those hard questions. Unless the situation is you're pursuing that option and in your place of work, there is already an opportunity that you could, you plan to use that advancement to grow where you are. So yeah, so hopefully that's helpful. All right, everybody. So this is great. I will go ahead and end the live session right now. But remember, I do live sessions once a week. So stay tuned for the next one. For every major that I cover in my channel, every video that you see, I do have access to complete information on employers, types of opportunities, and what you need to do in college in a PDF. So if you just go to my website, which is MajorToCareer.org, you should be able to scroll down to these PDFs, request the PDF for the type of major you want, and I will be more than happy to send that your way. I also do have a free step-by-step on how to make the most of your college degree. And I do have a blog. And so the information bar should have that information. And so you should be able to read that. It's free for the blog. And so you can get empowered and gain information. So thank you all so much. And remember, if you're new and you're watching this, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and join the family. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, education is the key to the future. I am Coach K. Until my next video, everybody. Bye.